I just think that that is, I don't know, like it just feels like they belong to someone else. Like they have an intended mother and father, like who created them. Good morning, happy Vlogmas day 8. Today is Tuesday, December 8th. It'll be Wednesday when you're watching it, so happy hump day to ya. Happy hump day to ya. Happy hump day to ya. Happy hump day. All right, we are doing, Cheyenne decided she's staying tonight. She's not gonna go to Francis's. I'm gonna make these tacos. I don't know if you can see that. It says pork and poblano tacos. I know you can see the picture. So we'll make those for dinner. This is our new pack of HelloFresh, so we're starting with that. I think I'm just gonna have yogurt for breakfast. Hope you liked our chat last night. Cheyenne and I's chat. I'm debating if I'm gonna go live. By the time you see this, it'll already have been done, but we'll see. Because I'm already doing 2 videos. It's like 2 videos and a live. We'll see. How are you guys doing? What's going on with you? How is December treating you? Let me know down below. Good morning. All right, so I'm just finishing up my grocery shopping. All right, I found this recipe I want to make. Chickpea kale curry soup. Doesn't that look super yummy? So I'm adding those things to my grocery list. I got some brioche buns, mini, to go with it. I got my orange juice to go with my glutathione, eggs, always need those. Hard-boiled eggs for the girls, some yogurt for my breakfast. I'm doing beef bone broth because I can't get enough of that. Or it's actually beef, chicken, and turkey. They call it Hearth by Brodo. Raspberries, paper towels. So here's the stuff for the soup. Diced tomatoes, curry powder, paprika, unsalted vegetable cooking stock, which actually I think I'm going to take that out. And I'm just going to get the bone broth, the chicken bone broth instead for flavor. I'm not doing a vegetarian, even though it can be. You can do it with chicken, with veggies, and it'll be vegetarian. Then I'm getting these grain-free protein plus collagen pancake mix because I want to do pancakes. And then, of course, the main ingredient for that other one is kale. So I added that. They also have, in this recipe, sweet potatoes. I'm a girl who likes my sweet potato just to be a sweet potato. I don't want it as a french fry. I don't want it in a soup. Yeah, so I'm gonna substitute red potatoes, which I already have. So there's that for my shopping. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out here. And we're gonna select a time. Wednesday. Let's do Wednesday morning. Let's do 7 to 9 so I can get it done before work. Alright, so we're confirmed. You have to fry the tortilla shells? Oh. Do you want me to? No, just okay, no. You put water on them. Yeah, they're going to microwave. Oh. I'm supposed to do it with a paper towel, but I'm like, I have hands.
Yeah, that's the plan. And I sometimes always still have friends. That's why I've been.
Hey fam! Oh, there's little bells running around. So we did do a live. Well, I was contemplating if I should do a live, and Cheyenne joined me, so we ended up doing a live. I hope you guys enjoyed the video yesterday. I hope you enjoyed the live. The girls want to say hi. Hello, girls. Hello. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Okay. What's going on? Kisses? Kisses. Thank you. Okay. Why don't you go help your sister make dinner? Cheyenne's doing another HelloFresh over there. Yeah, so we did the live. It was great talking to all of you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Tomorrow the plan is we're going to go to Central Park and do a little bit of exercising in the morning. I think we said 7 because Cheyenne has like an 8 o'clock thing. But I did want to touch on, because we talked a little bit about embryo donation during the live, and I said most of the places want you to be married. Some of them want you to have been married for a couple years. They want to do home visits, like it's a legit adoption. Some parents want to be involved. Then after we hung up, I was like, let me look at one more place, and this one requires you to send an email and register with them. So I did. They sent an email. This isn't on their website, but they sent an email. So I was like, let me open it up and see. So there's a couple of, one, they don't require a home visit, which is good. The only thing is what they do require, so they're in California, they charge $11,000. You have to pay it up front. And when will my doctor or nurse coordinator be notified of the match? So first you have to, is the cycle fee discounted? So they charge you $11,000. It includes the whole cycle fee. You have to go to their facility to have the transfer. The $11,000 includes the transfer. It says, once we receive your preliminary forms, completed contract, and funds, we will send your doctor and nurse coordinator an official match sheet. Excuse me. The match is official only once we have received these 3 items. So they won't match you with someone officially until they have your money, which is what I had the issue with the egg donor place. Like they wouldn't match me with the egg donor until they had the money. And then I'm like, is it refundable? And they said, well, we'll try to match you with someone else. That just seems sketch to me, because like then once you have my money, I'm kind of at your mercy. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna have to sue you to get the $11,000 back. So I mean, I think this is probably the most interesting one. It's called Donor Nexus, the future of egg donation, if you guys are interested in it. Can I ship embryos to another clinic? No. So they will only do it at their clinic in California. I mean, I get it. It's a business. But anyway, so I did want to just put that out there, because I know I said the other ones, most of them are requiring you to be married and they want a home visit. This one seems to get away from that, but they do want the money up front, which is, I don't know, you know. And they do both anonymous and open donations. They do not require a home study. So that they sent me an email, and this is what was in the email, and then they sent an attachment. So there's 3 attachments with like what the cost is, what the cycle is. What does it say? Donor embryos are stored at the HRC fertility labs in Southern California. We do require all patients to come to HRC Newport for the transfer. If you live outside, you will need to be in California for a total of 4 days. We are unable to ship embryos to other clinics. They have day 3, day 5, and day 5/6 genetically tested embryos. And so there is a database. I went through it. There are no currently embryos that match what my requirements are. So there is that option, and I guess because they require the transfer and I still have a transfer on my insurance, I guess if after May I'm still not pregnant, which we're not gonna even really imagine that, but worst case scenario, then this would be an option, right? Because then it includes the transfer. I just have to get out there. That seems like something, but then I could also probably go to CNY here, and it'd probably be about the same. Cost-wise, like after medication and all, to do a donor, either donor embryo or donor egg, donor sperm, IVF, donor embryo or donor, sperm. Making it myself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So there's that. So there's a couple of options of like other ways to do it. It just seems most straightforward to me, like to have, and I already have 2 vials of the sperm, so I've already paid for the sperm, to go ahead and pay for the embryo. I'm sorry, for the egg, for the ovum, and then have that put together. And then I know the characteristics of each, because it doesn't, in the donor embryo, it just gives you, like, you don't see any images of it, and it doesn't give you like celebrity lookalikes, so you don't know what they look like. It just kind of gives you their stats of like how old they are, how old the mom is, how old the dad is, their age, height, weight, and like a general overview of their medical history. Obviously, you know, there's some sort of infertility issue because they created the embryos. So I just think that is, I don't know, like it just feels like they belong to someone else. Like they have an intended mother and father, like who created them. I don't know. I mean, and I guess I shouldn't say that because I could end up with embryos that I end up donating. So that's not necessarily, I mean, obviously there's a fertility issue, but they don't necessarily have parents per se. But yeah, it is important to me that the child looks somewhat similar to me. I am going to say that. So I'm not like, even if I were, you know, I know people adopt and they adopt different races and different, you know, children who don't look like them. It is important because I feel like already being in a single parent situation, then having for that child to keep having to explain it, because let's be honest, kids are just naturally inquisitive. They're going to ask. Like if I come home with an Asian baby and I'm like dropping them off at school, they're gonna either think I'm the nanny or like what happened. And so that's just another thing for the child to have to deal with. And I think girl, are we disturbing you? Oh, can you use a rubber spatula, ma'am?
Sure. Okay.
I'm like, hello.
I feel like I'm the bartender at Andy Cohen's.
At Andy Cohen's? Oh my god.
Clubhouse.
Okay. At the clubhouse on Watch What Happens Live?
Yeah.
But you're not making drinks. It smells yummy again.
It does. It does smell yummy.
I think that's what they get you with the aromatic food. I think that's part of the plan.
I think it's a part of the experience.
Yeah.
It's a good experience.
It definitely smells yummy. I mean, because I make some food that tastes good, but it doesn't necessarily have all that aromaticness while it's being prepared.
Right.
Because you haven't turned on a pot, right? Like
Correct.
we're just chopping up stuff, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, and I can smell all of it. I'm like, oh my god, okay. The poblano and something else is over there. Like
kiwi, the lime,
lime, okay,
tomato,
yeah.
cilantro, onion, all that.
Oh, it has cilantro?
Uh-huh.
I have more in the bottom left drawer if you
cool.
need
We have
extra
a lot.
cilantro.
We can save that for the other thing.
Okay, so I don't know where it was. Something
We were
about
talking about
children.
having a baby that would have questions when they come back from school.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Yes, you really are the bartender. Yeah, so I would not want that to be an extra hurdle for them. I think just the conversation, you know, age-appropriate conversation about how they were conceived is going to be challenging enough, and like letting them internalize it without having to articulate it and explain it straight away. The puppies are messing with the tripod, if you're wondering what's happening. Those are kind of my thoughts now that I have a little more clarity, because people were asking me about, are you considering embryo or why not embryo donation? So hopefully that answers the question. I think it's a little more complicated than having a donor ovum and donor sperm and creating brand new embryos. It seems like the majority of what I viewed, of course I didn't do an extensive search, I just went into Google and I opened up about 8 or 9 sites. The majority of them want you to be parents. Some of them, want you to be a married couple for X amount of years, depending on which site. Some of them were super specific and were like, you have to be it has to be a genetic male, genetic female only. Some were open to same-sex couples. This one that I found was the only one that I saw that was open to single parents. Most of them wanted home visits. This one that I just told you guys about, that's the only one that did not want a home visit. So they view it as a legitimate adoption. Some of the parents of the donor embryos want to be involved. They want to open one, or there's like, some of them have 3 versions. So like no contact, one is like limited contact, and then one is like, we're family. You come over for Thanksgiving, we go over there for Christmas, like connected, which I definitely don't want. Or the limited contact. I just think it's strange. Like I want to take this person on as my own child. And so it's not for me. No judgment for anyone who's doing it. It's just not for me. Totally random and not factored in, but it is a thing. They're gonna have whole siblings somewhere. Like when you do a donor embryo, donor egg, they might have half siblings, or what they call dibblings, that they might run into. But I don't know, for me, I would feel a sense of a loss. Like if I knew I had there was another human being on the planet who had the same mom and same dad that I had, I would want to meet them, you know? I would want them to be a part of my life. And so when you, like, so for example, I could take one of the donor embryos and then, I don't know, 2 doors down, they could also have one of the donor embryos, and then they meet and they're like, you look like me. I don't know, I think that's a little like too sci-fi for me.
Can I chime in for a sec and say, and it's a little ad-lib, my Cheyenne 2 sentence. When you started this journey of TTCing, it was so that you can bear your, I mean, you know, and I'm trying to be sensitive to everyone, but so you can bear your own child. And throughout time, you've had to make other sacrifices with that specific idea that you've had. So I feel like you found like a good middle compared to like, you know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, to where I was. And I think, yeah, it has to be like in gradual steps. Like, this is where I've gotten to after these 3 years.
Right.
Like, I never had an idea of like, oh, I'm just going to adopt a child and whatever they look like and take them. Like, that wasn't.
Right.
Which some people do, and that's amazing and fantastic. It's just not my lot in life. So, yeah, I think that's a good analogy, Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Like, this is a graduation, and this is like, as we gradually progress through this is where I am. So, yeah, I mean, I think we all have our different paths, but I did want to address the question, like, now that I did a little more research about the donor embryo, and I don't think that's for me. So, yeah, and I'm not seeing, like, what I'm looking for, like, at least from what I can see, where I would get a mix of the child that I wanted. Like, I would like the child to look similar to Cheyenne, look similar to me, like we're a family. That is important to me. I know it's not important to some people, but it is what it is. So, yeah. Oh, all right, everything smells really yummy. I'm going to turn this off and edit so we're not up all night because I kept Cheyenne on live for what it's already 9:54, so it's almost 10. So I'm going to edit this, get it up. Let me know what your thoughts are, like, for yourself. I'm not asking you to chime in on what I'm doing, but, like, are you considering donor embryo? Have you thought about it? Like, are you open to it? Or like, what's your stopping point when if the things you keep trying are not working? Like, what's your hard limit of, like, I'm not doing that? You know what I mean? Is it, like, I'm not going to China and adopt 10 children, or whatever your stopping limit is? So I think I found mine. I think, like, if the donor egg, donor sperm doesn't work out for me, I think that's it. Unless there's some miracle where I can get, like, a donor embryo that meets the criteria from an appearance perspective and background perspective of the parents, and that they would allow me to adopt. But they're viewing it like an adoption. It's embryo adoption is what they call it. And so they go through the process as if you are adopting someone's child. So it's just a different bag. But are you into it? Let me know if so. And whatever, you know. I remember watching a documentary, and then I'm going to close. There was a man who was adopted. He and his wife were having trouble with fertility. They had had a failed IVF. They had won a contest or something, like back when, I think it was Share Fertility in Las Vegas did a contest, and they had won a free round of IVF. And while they were going through the process to get pregnant, the wife made the comment that she absolutely would not adopt a child. And the husband was, you could see it in his face, was deeply pained by it because he was adopted. And so he thought, like, what if his adoptive parents had wanted him? God put you together with who you're meant to be with. So he found the people that wanted him. But I could see he was deeply wounded, and it's probably something they should have talked about before they got married. It happens. It happens. Some people aren't. So let me know. What's your limit? Let me know down below. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll do another live, and hear what you have to say. I'm curious. Please, if you liked this video, if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. I am working really hard. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, because there's this program on YouTube where you get to do like a workshop, and they go through camera and editing and all this stuff, like, just so you can make your videos even more dope. So I would love to do that, but I need 10,000 subscribers, and so I think we're like 1,500 away. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hanging out, joining the fam. Give it a thumbs up so other people can find the video, and so, like, YouTube's algorithm is like, hey, other people should watch this. This is, people like this who are watching it. It just helps me. It helps the channel. It ultimately helps the whole fertility fam, because then we can get the word out. Yeah, and get bigger and better and pregnant. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Baby does to us all.